I'm Matt.
I'm Molly.
And I'm Nick.
And today we're going to talk about some of our favorite things. Zombies.
Batman.
And little blue people.
This is the Lightning League Podcast.
Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web in his eyes, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. This is strong, this is good. He's got radioactive blood. Can't sleep from a
Alright, welcome to today's episode of the Lightning League Podcast. Today we're just going to do a couple quick reviews for you. I wanted to talk about iZombie number 3 by Chris Roberson and Mike Allred. I've read all 3 issues of this series so far. Great series. This is by Vertigo. Like I told you before, it's about a gravedigger named Gwen Dillon who happens to be a zombie. The only way that she kind of gets out of being a zombie is she has to eat a brain once a month so that she kind of keeps her senses intact. The story just keeps progressing from here. There's vampires, there's ghosts, there's were-terriers. So if any of those things intrigue you, then I would highly recommend going out and picking up iZombie numbers 1, 2, and 3 if you don't have them. Number 1, like I said, was just a buck, which is awesome, and I love when Vertigo does that, so pick it up.
We're starting to do that with a lot of their books.
iZombie, and like...
It gets people
It's a
in,
good way
it's
to
$1.
get people hooked.
Yeah, and another thing I noticed is a lot of, I think, Image and Vertigo trade paperbacks, they'll do like a $9.99 volume 1, which is a great way to get
They
people
did that
into.
with, a couple, I don't know if it was Vertigo.
Yeah.
It was, I can't remember.
Because that saves you like, that's like $5 off of the cover price for the individuals, so...
There's a couple of them they did that with.
That's pretty
Darkness
awesome.
they did that with. It was like $5.99 for one of the first comics.
Yeah.
Novel.
Cool.
Great way to bring people in.
Awesome. So, Batman and Robin issue 13 came out. Grant Morrison's still writing, of course, and Fraser Irving's doing the art. It was awesome. Definitely awesome. It starts out with this parallel to Bruce's life with Dr. Hurt. So, but they've put Dr. Hurt into the role of Thomas Wayne, of course. So instead of Thomas and Martha dying, it's Martha and Bruce. Then he basically, they reveal that he planned the murder, and then he becomes a mastermind of this weird sex club, and then it flashes forward to him shooting Dick in the back of the head, and sort of then goes backwards again. So
Who the heck wrote this?
Grant Morrison, it's excellent. It revealed a lot of things, in fact, because Joker's, of course, in it, and he reveals that this entire time since the moment that Bruce disappeared, he's been pretty sane, for him at least. He's been killing people in an effort to help.
That makes all sorts of sense.
So, and
Senseless killing by Lois Lane.
and I won't tell you how it ends, but the cover should give you a clue. Anyways, it's I can't wait for the next issue. It's definitely my favorite book that's coming in my box at the moment. We had to be very patient for like a whole month while they started Return of Bruce Wayne, and now we get to go back to the main event. So, which is cool because it's going to tie into the Batman issue 666 that came out a couple years ago, which revealed a dystopic future where Damian Wayne is Batman and Barbara Gordon is the Commissioner, and things are far worse than you could have imagined. So this was my favorite book of the week, definitely. Art was amazing.
I keep hearing that this is a really good storyline, but I am boycotting it until Frank Quitely comes back to draw it. In my mind, Batman and Robin was a 3-issue miniseries. It stopped after that.
He's still doing the
covers are
the
not
covers.
enough for me.
I know,
I need more.
I know.
That's sad.
Especially with that whole thing with the Dollatrons and Pig, who is back. He came back in this issue too.
Professor Pig came back?
Which apparently is a Frank Grant Morrison has used pigs in several of his other works. So this is really, this whole Batman run, all the books that he's doing is really his magnum opus. He's drawing from a lot of work that he's done in the past.
And they just announced David Finch and Grant Morrison are launching a new Batman title, Batman the Dark Knight.
Yay!
Yeah, and Grant Morrison is going to co-plot, and then I guess David Finch is actually going to start writing too.
Interesting.
So we'll see if his writing is as good as his art. So,
Yeah, it was
lots
great.
of Batman goodness.
Okay.
Nick!
Well, mine's not really anything real new. There's one, but it's kind of like a trend that's starting to go around. Is all the old cartoons are starting to come back in comic form. They got like the Muppet Show comic book. Yay! Ace is really excited about that one. Muppet Peter Pan, Muppet Robin Hood, and Muppet King Arthur. There's also Muppet Snow White. I couldn't find a copy of that.
Did they finish Muppet Peter Pan? Because I got the first couple of
I
issues
haven't
of
read
it.
it. I looked
really
through
liked it.
Looks like it's been collected there.
Yeah, there's a few. Another one is kind of cool. I noticed is Fraggle Rock. I mean, I remember watching
Remember dancing
Fraggle
your
Rock.
cares away.
I had toys of Fraggle Rock when I was little. It's kind of a newer artwork to it. More cartoony, but they actually add shadows and stuff, so it looks pretty cool.
The only problem I have with that is I got the free comic book day one, and it's really cool because it was a flip book with Fraggle Rock and Mouse Guard. But the format that Archaea does those in, they don't fit in a box either direction. So it's like I've got it like diagonal. Yeah, it just doesn't
I
fit.
didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
And there's no bags and boards for it.
It's
You gotta
not
customize
it's
your
not
own.
conductive to storage.
I mean, I like what Archaea is putting out, but it's just
Put it in with your kids' books.
Well, he's got a copy too, and it has to be diagonal as well.
So it
It's
looks
all bent
like-
and funky.
In August, there's also
They want you to display
it's
it
the whole
somewhere.
Fraggle Rock Volume 1 is coming out. Apparently, it shows it right on the back. The new one that just came out. This is what why I brought it up. The Smurfs. Out of everything they could have done, they're doing the Smurfs. It's the old comic, like the artwork on there is. I mean, it just looks like the original art that we watched in the cartoons.
That's
when we were
cool.
little. It's where he first meets Gargamel and all that stuff with this cat.
Did you see? That's
I'm a
pretty funny.
huge Simpsons fan, so everyone usually knows that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that and it looked pretty cool.
And it's $1.
Yeah, it's $1. And
So-
Awesome.
Dollar comics are great.
I've never heard of Paper Cuts. That's the name of the company.
Huh. Well, that ties in
So-
with the Darkwing Duck mini that just came out that everybody's
Darkwing
been
Duck
so
is pretty
excited
cool.
about.
I
So
completely forgot about
I
that.
can't wait for the next issue to come out.
Yeah, I remember Darkwing Duck. I wish, to this day, I still wish Heathcliff was my favorite. Morton Garfield, Heathcliff was awesome, and I hope they don't screw it up in a movie form like they did with Garfield, because that was pretty bad.
We should do like a whole animation episode. Oh wait, we
already
did.
that.
Well, that was on the
So-
That was superheroes.
comic book
That was comic
superhero
book superhero
animation. There is
animation.
a whole nother level
This
of
is
animation
just old
we have yet
cartoons
to
that are
touch.
now in comic form, or coming back in comic form, which
Saturday
That's pretty
morning.
Cool.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, I think it's once again that time to take a little peek into Ace's twisted mind in Ace's Asylum.
And that brings me to another person who can never figure out just exactly who he is. Good old moldy Play-Doh man, Clayface! Now there's a man who really can't keep himself together, now can he, folks? It's all about lost identity and trying to find one that's, whether it's inside or outside, but looking in the internal beauty.
Alright, well, that's today's episode. We appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Stealing is bad, kids.
Traitors.